More leg buys. We're talking about the discipline, type of wicket as well, lack of extras. We'll finally come post lunch.
Oh yes, buddy.
Missed the fence as well.
South Africa earned this position of supremacy because this partnership has been outstanding. You've seen everything. Good batting against spin, good common sense out cricket. Rickleton has been almost unstoppable, going at a strike rate of over 75. Allows the ball to come and just kiss his bat. I mean, he plays them so late because he is absolutely static at the crease, whether it's facing pace or in this case spin. He doesn't really jump at the ball.
Partnership 96. Brian Rickleton. Here's the ripple of applause that goes across the ground here at Newlands as they try and push him past that 100 mark. Now, what's the field for the left-hander? Field comes in as much as possible. Pressure on the batter with just one ball remaining in the over. He's on 99.
Does he hear anything though, Nat? That's the question.
The crowd didn't appreciate that. Whether he hears it or not, they still didn't appreciate it. You'll have to wait a little bit longer, so will this crowd at Newlands. It's 168 for 3.
की न्यू अल्फा ऐप से कहीं से भी बैंकिंग करें क्योंकि बैंकिंग कहीं जाने का नहीं अल्फा करने का नाम है डाउनलोड द न्यू अल्फा ऐप
South Africa was 72 for 3 and these two taken South Africa to 168 for 3, a very different position. Defence has been very good. A few mistakes made by these two.
It's a bit of a rude awakening for the bowlers because to go from one test match where the surface is sporty and essentially your sole job is just to land it somewhere in the area and something will happen, and then turn up here where you kind of have to use your guile and angles and everything else if you're going to prize out any batters. Hard work.
Yes, you've got to be a willing worker. I think this is a tough phase for Pakistan. You've got to G them up. I think there's got to be more decibels in the field. You've got to make sure that everybody's engaged because this can be an absolute flat session for Pakistan, for a fielding side. Nothing happening off the surface. There's a partnership that is rolling well for South Africa. This is Bangwa in the house.
So much control in the shot, balance. It's all there, all working together for Themba Bavuma.
You've got to admire his balance. Absolutely outstanding. Every time they've challenged him on that middle and leg stump line, he's been so good. There you see, steady head. He's playing the ball as late as possible.
Yeah, nicely bowled. And the difference there is just a shift in where it delivers from, bowling from wide of the crease. And continuing on the theme of just going from surface to surface as they differ, there is that necessity to reset and to understand that you must do the work in trying to deceive the batter. Some of the time you'll deliver what is probably the same sort of delivery, but just from a different angle. Change length, change pace some of the time. You know, all with the same consistency of landing it in a good area, but trying to ensure that there's a lot of thinking to be done for the batter. You get these sorts of conditions more times than not in test matches. It's good pitch, and you have to work really hard for each of your wickets.
Slip out. Should field the leg side. They scored a few runs through, but wickets.
Also, they want him to play across the line maybe and lose that ball and maybe get leg before or caught there. One of those two close-in fielders on the leg side. You can do that. I think Pakistan needs to be just a little bit more imaginative in the field like this. When nothing is happening, you can create these little sort of bottlenecks in the mind of the batsman. Why is that fielder there? So he's trying to figure it out. Now that fielder has been pushed to straightish mid-on. Another angle for batsmen to fathom.
2 runs came off that over. It's 170 for 3.
न्यू अल्फाब्स कहीं से भी बैंकिंग करें क्योंकि बैंकिंग कहीं जाने का नहीं अल्फा करने का नाम है डाउनलोड द न्यू अल्फा
170's on the board. It's been a little while in the 40s to get to 50. He's now been in the 90s for a bit of time as well. Crowd yet again warm up their hands.
I mean, it's got to be more on the front foot. That's an area where some of the South African batsmen need to be more attentive to. Spinner picking off the hand, pick up the flight and be more of the front foot, just like that. It's safer, it's better, it's more cool.
Whole new game with the milestone pending. An opportunity for Pakistan to come together as they try to deny him.
It is a feat that so many dream of, that only a few will achieve. He loves batting at this ground. And when he makes 50, he makes 100. On the 5th of December last year, he passed 50 for the first time in his test career, and he made 100 against Sri Lanka. And here, on the 3rd of January 2025, he makes 50 and then passes 100 for the 2nd time in his career.
Given himself a great 2025 prize, a present. Nearly 100. He richly deserved it because it had everything: pace, momentum, bounce, quality, driving through the offside, and playing so well because South African innings was under pressure. 3 wickets had gone down in that first session, and how well is done this. 103 in 135 balls. Terrific strike rate.
With that boundary as well, 100 partnership has come up between these two. South Africa 72 for 3. Now all of a sudden, in a very different situation. Family being emotional as you would expect.
Yeah, well done, Mummy. You held it together just about. An outpouring of emotion. adaptation. 100, now 100 opening.
कोका कोला की 2 लीटर बोतल सिर्फ 220 रुपए में। खाना बनाए मैजिकल कोका कोला के साथ।
हमदर्द जुशांदा का एक पैकेट बॉईल करें, दिन में 2 बार पिएं और खांसी और नेज़ल कंजेशन को जड़ से खत्म करें। नो केमिकल्स, नो साइड इफेक्ट्स। आप भी अपनी सेहत को नेचुरली ठीक रखें विद हमदर्द जुशांदा।
जैज़ के पास हर नीड का हल है। बस *699# मिलाओ और अपने लिए खास बनाए हुए पैकेज को अपनी सुपर पावर बनाओ।
Must do about different times through the order. Came in today to open because of the injury to Tony DeZorzi. He's batted beautifully today. He's aggressive up front. Went at a good rate, slowed down when it was necessary. Now finds himself settled on 100 just before tea.
To use that close-in net of fielders on the leg side, I think he'd be prepared to bowl an off-cutter or a slow ball, I think, just to break the rhythm of the batsman. Can Abbas do that? That'll be a little against his grain because he's a seam bowler, he's that good length. Straight mid-on, a short mid-wicket. 2 catching fielders. He sits on that middle and off stump guard. Babuma, at times he works the ball from that area towards the leg side. Let's see whether it works for Pakistan. It's not a bad ball at all because he showed him the leg side feel and got that ball to move away towards the offside.
Yeah, a delivery where you think back and imagine that pitching in that sort of area a few days ago. There'd be much expectation, there'd be slips with their hands cocked and ready. Not so here, so subject to the elements we are. And it is the pitch you must read and then react accordingly and utilize your skills according to what is before you. Tailor-made that pitch in Centurion for someone like Muhammad Abbas. Could be effective there. Here, more than anything, probably able to strike whilst the ball is new, and once it gets old, has to build pressure and kind of fight in an attritional battle and prey on the patience of the batters.
It's a pitch where you want a bit of pace. It's not a medium pacer's pitch. You've got to be quick through the air. And Pakistan playing a seam attack which is not express. So probably you needed a Naseem Shah in this bowling lineup, depending on how fit Naseem Shah is.
Yeah, just thinking of what South Africa has put to us in terms of pace. Brennan Parker showed the pace that he has already. Yes, it'll be on debut, so it is a different prospect for him, but he showed what he could do in the white ball format. Kagiso Rabada can certainly crank it up, so can Marco Janssen when wanted.
And perhaps that's why the change for them. They've used the phrase horses for courses all along. But it is around this time, sort of 40 overs, 45 overs on, where Pakistan sides of the past would come alive with their bowling, where spinners might operate, but post that spin stage, it's reverse swing. And for that to be particularly effective, what you want is that high pace.
word at the toss about Nassim Shah was that he was rested. That was what the phrase was used. He's been rested.
Euphemism.
It's 179 for 3.
बैंक अल्फा की न्यू अल्फा ऐप से कहीं से भी बैंकिंग करें क्योंकि बैंकिंग कहीं जाने का नहीं अल्फा करने का नाम है डाउनलोड द न्यू अल्फा ऐप
Building up, and it ended with a century. Terrific. Perfect.
Line of partnerships between these two. 8th innings batting together. Together, so Evan Drew batting together on the surface. They both seem the game plan that's just right for what's being offered on the surface and also for the bowling attack.
Oh yeah.
That's how he plays.
Also from the bowling attack.
Oh yeah.
A little bit of a gift of a delivery, wasn't it, to get to your 100, especially to some of the pressure that's tried to build up on him. Kept him on in the 90s for a little while.
Oh yeah.
He would have accepted that for sure.
That's how he plays, actually. That's how he was castled, I think it was at Paul, playing Salman off the back foot. So he's got to do that more often against him. 180 for 3.
Are very set for South Africa. They feel a lot more comfortable than they did at the lunch break. Lunch may not have tasted as well as South Africa would have thought. Since then, it's been good for the home side. Now the captain is on the brink of a milestone.
maybe he played the field, didn't break his wrist, and so looked a shade awkward on that occasion. The two fielders on the leg side for Pabuma's pushed through mid-wicket and square leg. Yeah, that is the shot he probably would have played in normal circumstances. Was made to play differently by Pakistan, so that way it's not a bad ploy. Let's see whether it works or not, but right now it's Pabuma and on 49.
He scored 450s and 100 in 2024. Now he kicks off 2025 with yet another half century. Number 25 of his Test career.
Yeah, right from the moment he came onto bat, he looked rock solid, and you could nominate him to get a 50 or 100. Straight away, 3-4 balls in the middle of the bat, and you knew that he was absolutely switched on. From form-wise, from mental aspect, just been so easy on the eye, and what a knock.
What we've seen from the South African batters, particularly these two who've reached their milestones, is perhaps some batters that are somewhat mentally relaxed. To look at his numbers in Test match cricket and what he'd give for 25 to reach something like, I don't know, 16, 17. Despite many of those half centuries being particularly important, no doubt there isn't an underestimation of the value of those 50s where South Africa in certain games were under pressure and he kind of dogged them out of trouble and got them over the line. Fair enough. But just as he reads the numbers, and let's go to 20. 24 particularly, and you reeled off the stats, that there'll be those who'll say, and he'll probably feel it, maybe not now, maybe in a time to come, that he could have turned those into hundreds. I won't say easily, because it's never easy.
Especially not in his situation where he was often batting with the tail, because he was, certainly at the beginning of his career, batting a lot lower. He almost wants, from a stats perspective, 50s that are weighted differently.
Some are late starters, late bloomers. He could be one of them. Because it takes a little bit of extra time, really, to adjust to that 100 mentality. I just feel that he's got it now. He's cracked the code. And a lot of hundreds are waiting him. What a season. Tremendous season.
I like to think we're all late bloomers. 181 for 3. Ryan Rickleton.
Sorry, Kamran Ghulam, not South Shakil, but Kamran Ghulam. Very similar in stature.
trying something a little different before the tea break, and I'm afraid there'll be another extra. Just had the 4 leg buys so far, but this time around, and no ball. So often talk about breaks and what can happen during a break, before the break, after the break, maybe a lapse in concentration. This is such a crucial over before a tea break to possibly break the partnership, and they've gone for something a little different. This is making it a little easy for South Africa. Just before tea.
Often the clues in selection and tea. Home teams name their 11s a long way out. You want to take heed. I remember a time South Africa and Sri Lanka decided, oh, play 4 fast bowlers, and Sri Lanka picked 3 spinners. And you sort of went, hold on, what's going on? South Africa, 1 spinner.
50 overs have been bowled in the innings. It's 184 for tea, and Damasceno confirms it's time for tea. What a session for South Africa, wicketless, runs coming, getting both Bavuma and Rickleton past a milestone. For Rickleton, it's his 2nd Test 100. Bavuma, Test match 50, number 25. Look at that run rate.
What a session, particularly after the way the first session ended. 3 wickets taken by Pakistan in quick succession, and they'd have hoped that they would continue that momentum into session 2. Rickleton and Bavuma solid in their defense, quite adept also at working the ball into gaps, wonderful drives and deflections played, and at a rate of knots they've accumulated their partnership of 112. Excellent work done. Tea and scones all taste delicious.
Yeah, making up for that first session where Pakistan looked just a little bit better side. This really is been a tremendous comeback by South Africa. Keeping them at arm's length. No wicket has gone down. Pakistan toil hard. But it's South Africa all the way. 184 for the loss of 3 after winning the toss and electing to bat. This is turning out to be now a sane decision.
And maybe importance in terms of the context of this Test match. We've had 2 sessions so far on the surface. It still looks really good from a batting perspective. So 184 it is for South Africa at tea, a wicketless session for them. Rickleton and Bavuma have batted beautifully together. 112. They knew they needed a partnership after they were 72 for 3. And these 2 raised their hands and said, yeah, it'll be up to us. They've done the job. Perfectly.
Let's see what the Pakistani bowlers did. Abbas was as always, as usual, meticulous with his line and length. 1 for 46 on a tough pitch. It's not a typical Abbas pitch. Mir Hamza was included in the playing 11, none for 43. Khurram got a wicket and 1 wicket to Salman Ali Agha. Pakistan didn't have a great time of it in the middle session. The first session was a good one for them. Can they bounce back after tea?
184 then for South Africa in their first innings. Going to be fascinating to watch the final session of day 1. For now, we'll have a break, and then you'll be back with Cass Naidu in the studio.
the cricket. While talking about the festive season, Cape Town yet again has had the rest of South Africa coming to us. How's it been from the city's point of view?
We don't want you to look so imposing. It's always short.
Charles, I think I was just.
So we're probably going to have 2 million visitors to Cape Town this season. And that's incredible. And all the feedback so far is that people have been having a wonderful time in the city. And we love having everyone here. So if you visit Cape Town from around the world or from South Africa, you are very, very warmly welcome here. Well, George Lewis, thank you so much for joining us. Before I let you go, a special message for our kids. As we head into 2025. Cape Town is the best city in the world. This is the best place to have a holiday, the best place to live, and the best place to watch cricket. Have an awesome 2025 and thanks for being such a great city. Thank you very much. You heard it from the man at the top of the mountain himself, Mayor George Lewis. Thanks for joining us. There we go. The Mayor's joined us. Everyone's at the cricket. So are you. Wonderful to have you, and we'll see you after the tea break. All cricket soon.
And then introduce the guys, basically. As soon as I come out of the vault, what's a nice talking point out of that Quinton one is just really being able to
Something. Yep, there you go. And straight away behind, they all went up. I'll be particularly chuffed with this. Go on, there's the second. 2 in a row. Burned the man.
Oh, what scenes here in Johannesburg. Oh, that's the back of the bat. That's gone off the back of the bat, and that is out.
There's the wicket. Yes, the outside edge is found, but South Africa have their breakthrough, and Dale Steyn goes past Richard Hadley on the all-time wicket takers list.
Look at the joy on his face, Quinton de Kock.
Gee, what a delivery that is. What a delivery. State now has two.
All to glove, and this time it's out. What a ferocious delivery that was. Wow, he has been unbelievable, Olivier.
I think that's it. Yes, it is. Oh, what a nut. Not too much he could do about that. Olivier. With a brute of a delivery.
Yes, he's done it. With brilliance in the ball ring, Quinton de Kock goes to his fourth Test match 100. A joyous moment.
A brilliant performance from Quinton de Kock, and you can see how much it means to him. He's absolutely elated, and he's been superb. He's come up 121 deliveries. The last
Sliding down that leg side and scampering back for the second. 191 for 3.
Yeah, this partnership at the moment, 119 for South Africa. Perhaps concerning times for Pakistan. They have to come up with an answer. They have to take wickets. I just feel that this partnership is slowly but surely dragging the game away from them. Here's the contribution. Trickleton 62, Temba Babuma 52. They want to make sure that they take this partnership as deep as possible.
Again.
Safe to say this is kind of a sit-in period for Pakistan, and that happens in Test match cricket. So if you don't have answers to all the queries, then you've got to just wait and be patient. But there's got to be discipline and some kind of strategy, even when you're sitting in. So make sure that you don't leak easy singles, make sure that you don't leak easy fours, make it tough. Let South Africa feel that they're going to have a flat session as far as run scoring is concerned.
Got to start buzzing somehow. I know it's going to be difficult. They've got to start buzzing a little bit up there. It's going to be hard to keep these two guys quiet because they're both very fine players, but very different players. Slightly offline, they're going to be picked off.
Yeah, I think it's on your point, Ramesh. You want to make sure that you control that run rate because that's how you suffocate and frustrate batters. At the moment, the ones are coming by too easily. So perhaps they have to bring up 1 or 2 fielders. Let one of these two batters take the element of risk. Yeah, we always had a motto, if you can bowl 18 dot balls, you always feel that something is about to give. So try and get into that sort of trend of thinking, that mode. Backing each other up with ball in hand. Often talk about batting in partnerships, you also have to bowl in partnerships, especially at this level.
All very important, excellent points, Vernon. I think Pakistan need to think on those lines. Who are your best bowlers that can do the deal for you? Such a deal.
For the purchase. 93 for 3.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan. Whilst you watch the game end on, that perhaps just need your best 2 fielders for each. That's 6 overs total. But it's really about setting the tone. The rest of the bowling unit will feed off that tone, off that energy. You have to make something happen. Pakistan will have to make something happen.
How much is the white?
They've 6. Pakistan 6 bowlers. 3 have been successful. 1 apiece for Abbas, Shazad, Jamal it is now. Strong drive down the ground. Midon's gone a little bit straighter. Just because of the brilliant straight driving, I think, that Ryan Ripton has exhibited.
Say I'm a massive fan of Kuram Sazat, especially with the new ball. I was quite surprised today that he came on first change, because I thought he asked him wonderful questions of the South African batter's technique, especially in the test match up on the Highveld a couple of days ago.
Again to the man, the straighter.
Talk about setting the tone. You want your best bowlers to take the new ball. 14 overs for Mohammad Abbas. Around 10 overs. I feel underutilised. You want to have a bit more of him in the game, because he's the guy that brings you control. He also gives you that wicket-taking option. He has the ability to bowl a sharp bouncer as well, which I feel will be key in these kind of conditions.
of those economy rates as well will worry the skipper a little bit. Short with a bit of width, not too much width, cracked away for 4. Good shot.
Keep bowling that length, the economy will suffer more. So you got to be nice and tight. That length ball has to be within the stumps.
Yeah, this is exactly what can happen if you offer up some width. Ryan Riggleton, he's well set. He's not going to miss out on these scoring opportunities. Easy pickings. Excellent shot. Just look at how he gets himself into position. Head still at point of impact.
The man on the fence is well behind square on the offside. So he knew exactly where that fielder was and just smashed it straight there. They won the toss. So this now becomes a hard day for Pakistan.
Let's have a look at the pitch. Hardly any grass off the straight, so very little grass for the bowlers really to make use of. So it has to be the length. And you've got to make sure that you find out your pitch map very quickly on a surface like this, Bernard.
Yeah, and I've expected Pakistan playing on placid surfaces back home to make that adaptation quite quickly, to understand the lines, the lengths, bring those stumps into play. Just haven't been able to do that up until now.
Loud scream of no from Riggleton. 198 for 3. They would know each other's game totally back to front because of their relationship with the Lions. Obviously, have been playing together for a long time, training again a lot over the years as well, so that helps, and known each other, I'm sure, going through some of the various ages. We've seen each other in those traps as they're going through the ranks. Bit of a committee meeting now to see what the next plan is. There's a look at what we call a hoover, as we just have a good look at the surface. There is the potential for some of those cracks just to widen up a little bit. Some of those cracks are on the lines of around about the off stump, about the 6 metre, 6-7 metre area from the base of the stumps. I'm convinced it's actually going to be quite hot enough for that to happen. We'll have to see what happens if the weather does get a bit warm as we go on. It's not forecast to at this stage. No rain around. In fact, the groundsman watered the pitch a little bit yesterday afternoon. Just a light sprinkle to make sure it's still going to be okay.
Yeah, see, I'll give you a bit of a clue. When you rock up in Newlands, you see any sort of greenery on that surface, you know something's bound to happen. There's none of that. Absolutely none.
200 up now.
Bouncing back South Africa after a not so great first session. Look at where they are through this partnership. Great commitment. We've seen everything from Riggleton. Good shot making. Pavuma steady as you want him to be. Plays the ball late. Very good against spin. That bubble, that century scoring bubble, Pavuma, gotta say.
Oh yes, buddy.
I think he's got to do that, make him drive against the spin. He's taken a couple of chances in one of the earlier overs against Salman. Came down the track and wanted to hit it through the offside against the spin. So let's see what happens. Get one to straighten, maybe.
Got everyone. Didn't run in too hard. That's just all that timing. My goodness. Hardly smacked that. It's gone for 6.
Please don't stop at the woman. Because if that's your shot against Salman Ali, go for it. And what a hit. Nailed it completely.
He's heard you, Ramis. He's heard you. Send the invitation, try and play against the spin. How is this for an execution? Down the track, inside out. I tell you what, it has flown a long way over that middle fence.
Actually, I think he's hurt himself. He's hobbling around at the moment. I think he's done something to his foot. 208 for 3. Still a bit of a hobble as he goes over. Lancing down the track, smashed that for 6, and he was pulled up straight away after that shot. Grabbed that hamstring area straight away.
Yeah, he's had issues with that right hamstring before. So signal to the physio immediately, straight away, that hamstring.
So right at the end of that over, Temba Bavuma called the medics over. And they're now just having a look at him. This is the 6. He went down the track and he just pulled up a little bit at the end of this. Effortless down there, got a little bit tangled. There we go, just a little hobble. And that signifies we are presuming a bit of a hamstring issue, because that's what he was grabbing as the physiotherapist came out and attended to him.
Good thing about that 6 was that he went through with the shot, even though it was a bit of a tangle there. Touching his back leg, hamstring area, but he still went through with the shot. It turned out to be a 6, a painful 6.
Yeah, it's a far from ideal situation for Temba. He was going along beautifully at the moment, and obviously an injury like this is going to make it quite difficult to bat on, because you can't have runners these days. Huffing and puffing a little bit there. He won't be particularly happy, I'm sure, Temba.
Yeah, you'd be hopeful that it's more of a cramp than a tear. South Africa needs him. South Africa needs the captain. He's the one to calm the ship. Allow Ryan Rickleton to go about his business flawlessly. He seems to be okay. He seems to be in good spirits. Seems to be moving all right.
There we go, he wouldn't be doing that. Stretching down and touching his toes if it was a hamstring issue, other than something perhaps like cramp. So that's good news for the South Africans. He's got a little bit of a smile on his face now, so obviously a little bit of attention has done the job. 136 is the stand at the moment, 194 balls. Been really good work between these two guys. To 120, and Temba Bavuma is 1 run over half that.
Yeah, you're talking about these two players playing together at the Highveld Lions, understanding each other's games and understanding each other's character. That's important. Whilst you're out in the middle, sometimes you don't even have to communicate, because you just know the player that well. Ramis? Who's that player that batted with you, that understood your game inside out? None. No wonder you're a lone ranger.
Actually didn't give them time enough, because I didn't stay there at the crease long enough.
Ahmed Jamal now about to start his 12th over.
Always wondered where the nickname Rainbow came from.
I don't know how to put this, but Pakistan need to have a bowling draw mentality where you're not winning and you're not losing. So you force yourself a draw mentality, that draw mindset where you have the tenacity of not budging from your position and you're not allowing the other side to win also. It's a term that I was just thinking, what term to use, what term to coin to this situation. And I think Shan Masood has got to think like that. It's not a negative way of looking at it, because when things are not working, then you've got to maybe have a way out, and way out is status quo.
Yeah, I think also, given the nature of the situation at the moment, you know Temba Bavuma is struggling with a bit of a hamstring niggle. There's no need to have that man at deep square back on the fence. Get him in, say, on the one. Make life a little bit more difficult for the South African captain. You have to pick up these little clues whilst you're out in the field, and you have to work your way around them.
Effort delivery, short, put away quite easily just for one.
I've seen England do this quite regularly, this kind of field set where you have a bouncer field. Two men there at mid-wicket in square leg, and so every ball is to be a short ball. Let's see what happens now. Because Rickleton has played that short ball so well, the swivel and making sure that he plays it down, good wrist work, good position to get him in when he's playing that pull shot.
Yeah, New Zealand do it, or used to do it also with Neil Wagner. Just run in, bowl short for half a dozen overs or so. They have to try something, that's for sure.
I think that strategy seems to work more on dodgy pitches where the ball is stopping at times and it's not coming through at pace or at a particular height. On this surface, I don't think it's going to be that kind of a challenge where a batsman falters and gives his wicket away, but Pakistan must try.
Yeah, I think in many ways it also just changed the rhythm of play. As a batter, you're getting so used to getting in, lunging onto that front foot. Just a couple of short, push them a little bit back and then go back to the more conventional way of trying getting batters out, but they have to try something.
There's two men back on the hook. It's not a bad pull over 10 because he likes to go for the shot. There's a short bouncer that is in his vicinity. Now this is just to look at the work, just to show how difficult it is to bowl to both of these guys. Rickleton strong.